go. Come on, something. Come on.
Swing and a miss.
There's a lot of spunk.
Don't throw it wide.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the continuation of the XBL World Series. I'm Light Snack, aka Floribel, aka your play-by-play announcer. With me on color commentary tonight is League Co-Commissioner Dwayne. Dwayne, here we are. It is Thursday night, and we've got the two best Super Mega Baseball 3 players going against each other for the championship title. They traded Mercy wins last weekend, and now they're even up at 1 win apiece, and they're batting at 93 ego, one of the heaviest difficulties in the game, putting up double-digit runs. Is this not insane?
This is truly insane. It's some of the most exciting baseball, if not the most exciting baseball you can catch on Twitch or pretty much anywhere as far as Super Mega goes. And yeah, I'm really excited for games 3 and 4 tonight. What we saw last, I believe, I want to say, what did the series start? Thursday or Friday? I can't remember.
It's so long ago at this point.
Either way, here it is. It's the end. The AAA series has already finished up. The AA series is already finished up. So now this is it. We've got the XBL raring to go, and Lazy and Ashnod ready to bust things open. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, we just have this one last series across all of our leagues here in the XBL. This last World Series, the cream of the crop, before we officially start the off season between this season 9 and season 10 going forward, where we're thinking that there might be some changes to some of the rules that we've seen, as there has been in all of the seasons for Super Mega Baseball 3. There have been some changes as we try to get everything, as you guys, I should say, try to get everything lined up to make it as a competitive and online league as possible. But right now, we're staying with the here and now. We're sticking with the Season 9 World Series between Lazy, one of the best player in Super Mega Baseball 3, the #1 seed, only had 1 loss in the regular season, and Ashnod's Coupon, who was the Long Ballo Award winner. Tons of home runs. That means he had the best batting as determined by the league office in Season 9, and I wholeheartely agree. Best batting average, shattered the home run record, and in Game 2 of the World Series a week ago, he definitely proved it, just absolutely clobbering the ball in his home stadium.
Yeah, this is something that I think is going to end up making the difference here in this World Series. It's going to be a matter of if Lazy's able to keep a bit of a lid on Ashnod and keep up with the scoring, because Ashnod showed that even though he dropped Game 1 in Mercy fashion because he hemorrhaged some runs to Lazy, he can just as easily bite back. And it doesn't matter where you play him. He's able to hit the ball hard and far. Doesn't matter what ego. So this is it tonight. I think it's going to be really big in these games 3 and 4 for either of these players to get a leg up. If one of them can take 2 games, I feel like the series is going to be heavily swung, and it's all really going to come down to trying to keep a lid on those big innings.
It's definitely possible, but it almost feels like very unpredictable what could happen, given that games 1 and 2, home field Mercy wins for both of these teams. Like, when they were playing in their home stadium, they were dominating. Lazy at Sakura Hills for game #1. He found it was a little bit of slow to start for Lazy, but he found that one big inning late in the game where he just absolutely exploded offensively and was able to quickly put it away. It was 10 runs in 1 inning?
Yeah, something like that. It was just a bunch of runs late. Ashnod was a bit more steady through his game, too, with the home run power reaching, it's Lafayette's a little bit smaller, obviously, but he was able to hit it over the fence, quite frequently in that game. I think that Lazy's has a ton of gap power. He has a bit of a different ability to really rally when he's hitting singles, doubles, even some triples, and then he'll get that big dagger home run, whereas Ashnod's just powdering the ball time and time again. So it's going to be interesting. They are 2 different play styles when it really comes down to it, but 2 of the best in the world at scoring, hitting the baseball, and even at pitching too. The pitching is going to be super tight from both players, I think, and that's going to play its part.
It only remains to be seen whether it's going to be the pitching or the batting that ends up being the story here in their second day of World Series action. Games 3 and 4 of the XBL World Series coming at you in just a few moments. Stay with us. And now we are loading into Sakura Hills for Game 3. Lazy, the #1 seed, will have home field advantage throughout the postseason, including the World Series. So 1, 3, 5, and 7, if necessary, will all be played in his home park, Sakura Hills. Now, Dwayne, Lazy was able to put away a 10-run mercy win in Game 1 here. Think that he has it in him to do it again here?
I think the potential is definitely there. It's all going to be a matter of how many runs Ashnod's able to score in these early innings as well. If they're, keeping up with each other, make it a bit of a marathon instead of a sprint, as you would say, it could get really interesting and really high scoring.
On the 0-2, swung on and grounded to Zilla at shortstop. The throw to Kid K is in there for an out, and that is how this ball game gets started. Chicago Blues up first to bat. King Flip with a 4-pitch arsenal. Very interesting four-seamer. No fastballs with any movement, just the curve, the fork, and the change. That one is lifted to deep center field. Normus has plenty of time to get under it. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, there's the hard contact already coming out for Ashnod. But yeah, interesting arsenal, as you brought up as well, for Lazy and King Flip. It's going to be some sequencing issues, I foresee, but we'll see how Lazy decides to use them.
Definitely. It's going to be the four-seamer and the change, I feel, will be his biggest biggest pitches that he would have to nail. As that high curveball is swung on and drilled into center field, that's going to be a 2-out single, and the Blues have a runner on.
Yeah, Ashnod nicely taking the breaking ball up the middle. It really is the fastball and the changeup a lot of the time, especially against some of these top hitters that you have to use well and sequence within your other pitches. Mixing in the breaking ball, even less a lot of the time, just using those two primarily. It's going to be interesting to see how Lazy attacks.
Lazy gets Ash to chase that 0-2 high heat out of the zone. Ground out for the end of the inning. So we head to the bottom of the first here. The Blues get a runner on, but Lazy's able to shut it down. Swings at the first pitch, and we saw that a lot from Lazy in the first two games. That's grounded to Staples for out number 1. Lazy really going after that first pitch and giving some extra life to the starter for the Blues. Kind of what did him in Game 2, I would have to say.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe in the Game 2 he felt a little bit more pressure to try and keep up, especially with Lafayette having the smaller confines. But Lazy needs to run some deep at-bats. You can see there he gets a soft contact over to second base for an easy out number 2. But running some deep counts will definitely work in his favor.
Yeah, only 4 pitches from Allison with the 5-pitch arsenal. Gets into an 0-1 count here, 2 outs and nobody on for Amy B. Swing and a miss on the low change. The 0-2 from Allison. Dotting the inside corner, strike 3 called.
There it is. That's something we've seen from Ashnod a lot in this playoffs already. Just a new ability, it seems, out of nowhere to just dot people up. It went pretty unsung throughout the regular season, but here in the playoffs, it's really shown up.
That breaking ball is absolutely crushed into the gap in center right field. B's going to have to hurry it up, holds it to a double, but a leadoff double nonetheless for the Chicago Blues as they look to take a 2-1 series lead.
Yeah, Lazy seems to be living and dying by the curveball, and it's pretty dangerous when you leave it up there to hang. It might present some timing issues for Ashnod, at least at first, but it will. He will end up timing a few, so we'll see how Lazy uses it.
We just saw the fork ball from Lazy on the outside corner, just missed. Gets the heater, gets the call. Brings the count up to 2-2. The high curve, just a bit high, brings the count full. The payoff pitch to Butterfield. Swung on and grounded, just foul down the first base line.
Yeah, a little wild, but that was still a good fastball.
Swing and a miss, got him with the low change inside.
What a pitch. Ashnod swinging out of the zone for once. Very rare do you get him on those. I think he was just sitting fastball all the way, and the changeup had him completely fooled.
Zilla with a good catch there on the line drive. Had a chance to get into center field, but quick reaction time there from the shortstop. 2 outs and a runner on second now for B.B. King. Dangerous batter, 571 average, but when we say dangerous batter, that's pretty much everybody in Ashnod's lineup, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Ashnod himself truly the most dangerous batter, using everyone in his lineup with a ton of success, as those stats are pretty consistent.
Whifford Trait activates there on the 2-strike count, and the curveball taken all the way, nicks the corner. Strike 3 called. We head to the bottom of the second, tied at 0 apiece.
Lazy did a great job that inning of erasing the leadoff double. That could have proved to have been really dangerous. So through 2, he's kept Ashnod scoreless. Now his job in the bottom of the second to maybe jump out, score 1.
Or at the very least, get that pitch count up. The 10th pitch of the game for Allison, just a bit low. Kimto at the plate. Talking about dangerous batters. That one right down the middle, swung on and missed. The heat just too much for Kimto.
Yeah, sometimes when they're down the tube like that, they just kind of surprise you, but Kimto does not miss that one. Yanks it foul. Lazy really wanted it.
Lazy been switching to contact swinging for these 2-strike counts. That one might find the hole. James has to leave his feet. The throw to first will be in time. Not enough speed for Kimto. A ground out for out number 1.
Yeah, Elmore James a bit below average is definitely as far as XBL defenses go, but that one is crushed by Kid K. 97 power. It's not coming back.
That baby is gone. Hits the big boulder out there in the Zen Garden, 474 feet. And the Black Jackals take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second.
That's how you jump out to a lead. Really clobbering that one was Lazy. That pitch was left right over the heart of the plate.
Luther Allison still at a neutral mojo after giving up that bomb. First base runner, I believe, for the Jackals there, and it was just a solo shot. That's what Lazy can do. If he finds a pitch that he likes, squares it up, slams it out of the park, because he gets a walk right there after the home run. So 1 out, a runner on first. Larry Lanky swings at the first pitch, drives it foul.
Yeah, it seems like Lazy might be seeing the ball really well, maybe a little too well. At least in the middle of the plate, swinging very early on those ones.
The 0-2, swung on, this could be 2. Staples catches it before it hits the ground, but the ump says no. It must have hit the ground somewhere. Gets the out at second, but the runner at first is safe due to the delayed reaction there, I'd have to say.
Yeah, Ashnod, I think, just thought he had it, but either way, he's able to get 1 out of it. The runners end up trading spaces at first base, and Lemonzilla will have his chance, so no harm done, really, but interesting play nonetheless.
It could have been a double play, although Lazy was already going back to first. Not sure if the double play was entirely possible there, given the short reaction time and the speed. From the batter, out of the batter's box. Strike 3 called there on the outside corner. So like you said, Dwayne, no harm, no foul there. Ash is able to get out of it after giving up that 1 solo blast. But if we know Ashnod, the 1 run is not a safe lead.
Yeah, no, it is not. Ashnod can easily pile runs on you with 1 swing of the bat, 1, 2, 3 swings of the bat, really, if he sees enough pitches to hit in succession. So Lazy's going to have to find the edges of the zone. You can see he's already behind 3-1, and that one is crushed.
Luther Allison got into a good count. There it is. Gone! The pitcher goes yard to tie the game back up.
Wow, and like you said, it doesn't take Ashnod long. He goes right up to bat with his pitcher, and he sees a fastball he likes, boom, over the fence.
That 3-1 count is a very dangerous count if you're pitching against some of the greats in this league. It is a juicy count. You are looking to swing and crush something, because even if you miss, you still have another strike to work with. And
Absolutely.
Lazy just left that one up in the zone, and Ash did not miss it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you're hitting with there. If you're as good as Ashnod is at squaring up the baseball, that one's going to be crushed.
And Lazy in a bit of a pickle here. A runner on first, nobody out. Facing off against Jake Blues. The 1-2 curveball is swung on and fouled. Another 1-2. Swung on, that's not going to be foul. That's going to get down in right field for a base hit. Amy B is going to throw it to third. The challenge from Ash, he's going to be in there. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
Yeah, Blues not known for their speed, but Ashnod has the top of his order on the bases, where that's where a lot of it's packed in. He's able to get first to third there. And he's looking good with no outs here, trying to take the lead. You know, in this rematch of the Season 8 World Series, he's really looking to get back at Lazy for taking that last championship.
Swings at the low change. Zilla's going to have to hurry. Can't cut it off. A run comes in to score, and everyone is going to be safe. The Blues take the lead.
Nice piece of hitting by Ashnod. Not what you often see. He usually hits the ball a lot harder than that, a lot quicker on the exit velo. But you just get it done any way you can, especially when it comes down to this deep in the playoffs. And he's got himself a lead.
And King Flip is tense and gives up another hit. No runners yet retired here. The bases are loaded for Elmore James. Nobody out. King Flip, and this is where that limited arsenal is really coming in to hurt this starter for Lazy.
Yeah, I mean, just 4 pitches, and the ones that they happen to be maybe just not enough to really keep Ashnod off his toes. But that's decent
Bo's
from Lazy.
chasing.
Nice catch. Oh!
Way off. Oh, but the ball was caught before it hit the ground, and everybody was safe. Lazy going home, perhaps thinking the ball wasn't caught or just out of instinct. Just a gut reflex.
Yeah.
So 1 out and the bases stay loaded.
I think we all make that play, that reaction throw to throw home. That's such a hard moment to handle. I mean, you don't expect him to pick the ball up out of there. How many times have you seen that happen? Here it is in the World Series.
Swing and a miss on the changeup. It was juicy and in the zone. Ash's eyes lit up, thought it was a fastball all the way, could not hold up on it. So 2 outs and the base is still loaded here. And I'm going to be honest, Dwayne, I didn't even realize the ball was caught on that play, the throw to home, until after it all happened, and I realized the bases stayed loaded. A pop-up for the 3rd out. So Lazy gets out of it with just surrendering those 2 runs, but the Blues now have the lead.
That was nicely done by Lazy to get out of the bases loaded jam there, but here's Luther Allison locked in off the dinger he just hit last inning. Now he's got a lead to work with. Ashnod pitching well. Lazy not getting too deep in these counts. You can see he's already behind with King Flip.
It's not often you see a pitcher with a 10+ ERA locked in. Staples with a good dive. The throw to first is in time, just not enough speed again out of the batter's box for Lazy to reach safely. This brings up Cox enormous. Nobody on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. Good pitch there for a strike from Ashnod. Luther Allison finally below that 10 ERA. Hits that one foul. 35 pitches thrown for Allison. The 1-2. Swung on. That could find grass in center field, and it will. A 1-out single for the Jackals.
That's nice for Lazy. Get a little single there at the top of your order. Snappy Pop's a great hitter. The rest of the ones that follow as well. Definitely able to get something done, so Lazy now can have a big chance to get back into this.
That could, another well-hit ball just getting by the glove of the shortstop. First and second with 1 out here for the Jackals. They're trying to keep this rally going. First pitch swinging, could find grass in center field, not a lot of speed. Waters makes the grab on the slide. The throw to second in time, the double play.
That was a questionable one. I was thinking, what do you do? Where do you go? And Lazy with the full commit there. Just absolutely hung out to dry. That's got to sting, but you can tell his need to catch up is great right now.
You got to send him on there with knowing that Ashnod's speed on this team is not the greatest, and his fielding for that matter as well. This curveball's grounded to Wanda, picks it up and fires it to first, out number 1. I would send him as well. I mean, especially when you're down by 1 and that's the tying run. It looks like it's just perfectly scripted for you. And props to Ash for getting there to make the catch.
Absolutely, and there's, I feel like a good 4 times out of 10 he's going to drop that ball sliding in center field. Like you said, the fielding not high on this Blues team, so tough chance for Lazy to take there. That one lifted by Ashnod over to Amy B. We'll get Lazy out number 2 in the following inning here. We're in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, we since the last patch, we've been able to see the miss rates when players drop balls. I'd like to see the probability rates on catches like that one, you know, like the other way around. Like, how likely were they to make that catch? I'd like to see that on that center fielder for that one. Ripped up the middle to Cox Enormous, a 2-out single for the Blues.
Yeah, that's a dangerous changeup. You don't want to be leaving that too close to the plate if you're lazy. You can see he's thinking about using it again. Like we said before, the fastball changeup combo is going to be huge. That was nicely done by Ashnod to hit it the other way. The curveball not hit hard. Gets himself a 2-out single. So he's got 2 runners on now for Elwood Blues.
Some more weak contact for Ashnod to keep the inning going. We saw this a little bit earlier as well from Ash. Able to get runners on, not with his signature blasts, but with some weak contact that just finds the hole. Wanda's going to have to leave her feet for this one. The throw to first should be in time, and it is out number 3. A good play there from the third baseman. Sends us to the bottom of the 4th. Kim Toe to lead things off.
Yeah, we're still standing at 2-1. A lot of drama, though. A lot of base runners already through 4 or 3.5.
Kim Toe rips that one to left field. A sliding effort from the left fielder isn't able to come up with it. A leadoff single for the Jackals. Kim Toe is aboard.
Yeah, and see right there, 43% on a slide like that. That's pretty high odds. You can see how big that 2-bar effect really is.
That one is ripped into center field. Another base hit for the Jackals, trying to create a big rally. First and second here, nobody out. Luther Allison's pitch count getting up there at 43 right now here in the bottom of the 4th. Back down to neutral, no longer locked in from that solo shot he got earlier in the game.
Yeah, Lazy chipping away with the hits. Now he needs himself some runs, and he's way ahead in the count, 3-0 here.
The 3-0 here to Wanda in the zone, swung on late, missed. The 3-1 here from Allison. Taken all the way, misses inside. The bases are loaded with nobody out for Lazy and the Black Jackals. Larry Lanky up to bat, a .436 average here in this postseason. First pitch misses for a ball.
He's got the lefty-righty matchup. Just needs something to hit. You can see he just fouls that one away. Maybe not the perfect pitch.
And that one catches the corner for a strike. Damned if you do, damned if you don't there on those back-to-back pitches. The 1-2 just a bit outside. Evens up the count at 2-2. The pitch. In there for a strike. Froze him, clipping the inside corner. And that's the pitching from Ashnod that we've seen this entire postseason that's been able to get him out of these tricky situations.
Yeah, so improved from Season 8. I mean, he was swept here last season in the World Series. That one crushed to center field. It might have the legs. And it does. A grand slam for Lazy and the Black Jackals as Zilla goes yard. The breaking ball hung up in the zone, and the Jackals take a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Yeah, all conversation aside, now Lazy's got a 3-run lead just like that. And now Ashnod is on the outside looking in, trying to, play a bit of catch-up. We'll see how his strategy changes.
Strike 3 called on the outside corner. The tense Luther Allison recovering after giving up that huge grand slam with a big strikeout. The damage already done here. So 2 outs, nobody on for Cox Enormous, the top of the Jackals order. Swings that one, rips it into center field for a base hit.
Another single at the top of the order by Lazy. Keeps things going now with 2 outs. And now it's all looking really good. Maybe you can find a way to keep tacking on.
We saw this in Game 1. The Jackals just ripping hit after hit and became an unstoppable force until they put that game to bed with a mercy win. Lazy might be trying for the same thing here as that one is ripped. Very similar to the last hit. 2 outs, runners on first and second for Amy B. And this might be the day for Luther Allison. No, he's staying in the game.
Yeah, perhaps Ashnod has him coming up next inning. I'm not sure where he is in his order. Either way, you might just want to see him through the 4th no matter what. Just not satisfied with 3 2/3. 5 runs, obviously a doable deficit at only 3.
The 1-2 from Allison. Swung on, protecting the plate. Staples is able to range over and make the catch. That one just a bit out of the zone. Ash getting Lazy to chase on the 2-strike count. And that'll end the inning, but the Jackals now have a 5-2 lead here in the top of the 5th. King Flip surrenders a base hit there. That could be extra bases. That goes way into foul territory after hitting the grass and fair. A leadoff double for the Blues.
Yeah, I just think Ashnod leaving Luther Allison in there is a move that's made because he's so confident in his ability to hit and to know that, you know, he's got a better probability to get Lazy out than Lazy has of continuing that rally there. So he did well leaving Allison in at least for one more out. Now he's got his order pumping along.
Gets into a good count here. The 3-1 misses, and that's a walk. So first and second with nobody out. King Flip still tense on the mound. In steps Paul Butterfield, also tense. I'm sorry, King Flip neutral mojo.
Yeah,
that'll be the
tying run at the plate, I was just going to say.
Tying run at the plate in the form of Paul Butterfield, and Lazy knows what's at stake here. Goes to Little Lackey, who gives up a pitch right in the zone, belted to left field. The bases are loaded with nobody out for Mahalia Jackson, and this is what Ashnod does best, recovering, bouncing back after giving up runs in a big inning.
Yeah, those two fastballs he's unable to catch up with there, so nicely done by Lazy to get ahead in the count.
And a bit of an issue here with Little Lackey, the reliever that has been brought in for the Jackals. K-Dud, not exactly what you need against Ash, but that curveball finds an inside corner, freezing Ash for strike 3 called.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, that one was a ball. Ashnod absolutely frozen, probably taking all the way on that.
The first pitch in this at-bat was called a ball, and that looked more like a strike than the first pitch, than the strikeout pitch in the last at-bat. Regardless, Ash now in a really good count here, 3-0. Lazy doesn't have anywhere to put this batter. Unfortunately, the wild pitch does put him aboard, so a run comes in to score with the bases loaded walk. Luther Allison up to bat, and Ash might pull him here in this big, big situation with the go-ahead run at first base. Thomas Dorsey stepping in to pinch hit. First pitch is belted to left field. Pop gets under it, makes the grab. 70 power throw shouldn't be enough to play at the plate. Not in time. The Blues have made it a one-run game.
Yeah, just like that, after a huge grand slam from Lazy last inning, Ashnod makes it just as close. These two going punch for punch here. We're only in the top of the 5th.
That one ripped up the middle. Will Ash challenge the throw? No. The bases are loaded yet again for the Blues. 2 outs for Jake Blues.
Yeah, huge moment to not challenge her. You can see the speed, an obvious factor, and Ashnod just should be conservative and bet on his own stick. Try to hit a grand slam himself here.
He certainly has the capabilities. The high changeup is belted. Not a home run, but at least a tie game. Cox Enormous is going to have to hurry. The throw at the plate will not be in time, and the Blues have struck back and taken the lead. 6-5 here in the 5th.
It's insane the way these two can really keep up with each other. It's a treat to watch. And Ashnod not done yet here. Lazy needs a 3rd out.
Lazy absolutely just searching for that 3rd out. The reliever he brought in this inning, Little Lackey, is tense and gives up another RBI. 7-5, the Blues lead.
And Ashnod not using too much of the power tonight, at least not here at Sakura just yet. Just getting hits and finding the gap a little bit, but single, getting a few walks, and it's just killing Lazy right now.
And when you think about it, the one home run that Ash has hit so far in this game is that one is ripped up the middle. Cox Enormous is going to have to hurry. Way too deep. That's going to be another run for the Blues. 8-5, they lead this inning, just won't stop. And now Little Lackey is rattled.
Lazy thinking the same thing perhaps as Ashnod last inning, but that is crushed. Deep into the bullpen in right field. Ashnod a 3-run homer.
Lazy's move to the bullpen has been devastating. 11-5, the Blues lead it. Specialist activates for Little Lackey, but it hasn't done her much good at all. Paul Butterfield, who was up to bat earlier in this exact inning, in that crucial bases-loaded situation. The 2-1 misses outside, brings the count to 3-1. Ashnod taking a bit of a breather here, thinking it's possible he could just keep this inning going. The Jackals, who got out to a big lead in the last inning, were not able to sustain that. And what I was saying earlier is rung true. This is what Ashnod does after he gives up a bunch of runs. That pitch is grounded to Lanky, picked up and thrown to first. That will finally end the inning, but not before the Blues score an amazing total of runs. I believe 9?
I want to say
9 or 8 runs.
Yeah. It was 9 runs. It was 5-2 after the grand slam from Lazy coming into the inning. And just Ashnod was unstoppable there in that top of the 5th. That was historic.
And I've experienced it in my series with Ashnod as well. This is what the Blues do. They give up a bunch of runs, and then all of a sudden, they turn on a switch in the next inning and just fight right back. Lazy's going to have to do the same here as he leads off this inning with a single to left field. So runner on first, nobody out for Kid K, who is locked in, despite her team being down by 6 runs.
Yeah, it's crazy. Nice hit there for Kid K.
Yeah, hammered into right field. Lazy caught between first and second there for a second. Not sure if that ball was going to be caught off the leap by the second baseman. Did not happen. First and second, nobody out here for Wacky Wanda, trying to do some damage against Ash's specialist. That one's going to hang up in center field. Should be caught by Waters, and it is not deep enough for Lazy to tag up to third. Although the dropped throw from the third baseman, I still don't think he runs there.
Yeah, no, not with that speed. Needs to find himself a pitch, but he just gets under that one to right field. Soft contact, and that should be out number 2. Runners stay where they are.
That will bring up Lemonzilla, who is also affected by the lefty specialist, Willie Dixon. Only 6 pitches thrown in this ball game so far for the lefty specialist.
Zilla had that grand slam for Lazy. That feels like such a long time ago. So many runs been scored since then.
Ash not able to dot the outside corner for the first 2 strikes, but that one is laced into left field. Weakly hit should be enough to get the run to score. It'll be an RBI double for the Jackals. So now they lead, they trail by 5. Little Lackey might have to come out of the game here. The rattled pitcher also affected by the lefty specialist. Her day is done after that top of the 5th that she'll want to forget about. Ham Choi comes in to pinch hit, a .667 average in the postseason. That one is crushed, but it will go foul down the third baseline. Gets into a nasty 0-2 count.
Yeah, Lazy
the deliver
needs a hit with this pinch hitter, sorry.
From Dixon is just a bit inside. Needs a hit with this pinch hitter for sure, or at least to get on base. The 1-2. Swung on, but right into the glove of the shortstop, James. That will end the inning. Lazy leaves 2 runners in scoring position. Does get 1 run there in the bottom of the 5th to make it an 11-6 ball game. But if you're Lazy, you got to be wishing that you'd done more, as the Blues just go ahead and get that run right back. A solo shot to lead things off from Mahalia Jackson.
Ashnod just looking unstoppable. I mean, that's what I was going to say. Just immediately erased on 1 pitch coming into the top of the 6th. So Lazy needs to find a way to do better than chipping away with just 1 run. It seems to be really tough to do with the way Ashnod has jumped out with the pitching, especially in this series. And you know, Ashnod swept by Lazy in Season 8 World Series, swept by Lazy in the regular season. He's really out for blood, it feels like.
Ground out there, hard hit, but right into the glove of the second baseman. Out number 1, Willie Dixon comes up to bat. He'll be staying in the game. I was going to say this earlier in the game. It's no longer true, of course, but for a while there, the only home run that Ashnod had hit was off the bat of his starting pitcher with the weakest power of all. Willie Dixon will not repeat that as he grounds out for out number 2.
Yeah, that was a feat to see, especially to open things up for the Blues scoring. It was just, you know, the first notch in the belt on the way to 12 runs plus, as we're only in the 6th.
Muddy Waters gets aboard with a 2-out single to left field. This brings up Jake Blues. Swings at that screwball in the zone, but weak contact lifted to snappy pop under it, makes the grab for out number 3. So the Blues get that run back, go back to leading by 6 runs, 12-6. The Blues have the lead here at Sakura in the bottom of the 6th. 12-6 the Blues lead. Cox Enormous, top of the order up for the Black Jackals. Gets into account here 0-2. The 0-2 from Dixon, just a bit outside. And the 1-2. Strike 3 called, and Dwayne, that looked like the same exact location as the pitch before that was just called a ball.
Yeah, Ashnod, though, just able to work it right on the corner that time. He's shown that improved ability. And then, but Lazy following up there, takes the hanging breaking ball right into the left center field gap for extra bases. Gets himself a nice double with 1 out.
Yeah, the 1-out double there brings up a tense Amy B. No favors to her with the specialist trait activated. First pitch finds that inside corner for a strike. Right on the black. That one finds it as well. Strike 2. And the 0-2 tries to find it again, just a bit inside that time. 1-2. is swung on. Lazy protecting the plate. That one's going to land foul. No one's going to get to it. The 1-2 from Dixon. That's starting to deteriorate ever so slightly. That curveball in the dirt. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Overpowered Lazy with the low fastball.
Lazy just with the tense, small reticle, just really unable to reach that. Ashnod though, just biffs it and right, and that'll give up a free run to Lazy. Could be 3 bags, too. We'll stay
Not enough
second.
speed.
Yeah.
Not enough speed from Kim To, who was at the plate there. We saw his speed take away a single earlier in the game. This brings up Kid K, but that was a hard hit ball to right field. Ash had a play, but his fielder just couldn't get to the ball in time as that one is ripped into right field. Another base hit. Will Lazy challenge the arm of Blues in right field? No, he will not. So runners at the corners here with 2 outs. The Jackals now have 7 runs on the board. First pitch is in there for a strike to Wacky Wanda. Lefty on lefty, specialist activated here for Dixon. The 0-1 swing and a miss. Got him chasing that low change. The 0-2. Swung on, weak contact. That's going to find grass over the leaping glove of the shortstop. Another run comes in to score for Lazy. Oh, and Lazy's caught in between the bags, and that'll end the inning. Lazy with some bad base running. Ends the inning prematurely. Gets the run scored off of that hit. But, Dwayne, just some chaos on the base paths there.
Yeah, I think Lazy, he had the run going home, but he wanted the runner also in scoring position for a double. And he got a little bit greedy there, trying to pull a bit of a diddle. Ashnod got ahead of him there, getting it into second base, got him in the rundown. It was nicely done before the run was able to cross the plate.
And with how hard Ashnod has been hitting the ball, that was a hard hit ball, but right at first base, steps on the bag for out number 1. This changeup is left in the zone and is hammered. Lanky with a diving catch for out number 2. So only a 4-run deficit between these two teams.
That was an insane catch. That ball was absolutely slammed by Ash. This one might have the legs to get out. Amy B jumps and it hits the wall. Ashnod's looking for 3 bases out of this. He's going to get to third with a sliding triple. Safe.
Ashnod with a very rare triple there. Did not miss being a home run by much. And Amy B just couldn't get the right position there in right field for the robbery. So the 1-0 is in there for a strike. 1-1 count here with a runner on third and 2 outs. The Blues looking to extend their 12-8 lead. The 1-2 is swung on weak contact towards Wanda with a leaping catch for out number 3. Some good defense there from the Jackals. A scoreless inning off the bats of the Blues.
Yeah, that's a tough one to judge. You miss those a lot of the time if you're not able to take those couple steps back and really figure out that you need to jump there. Well done by Lazy to end the inning. It's only a 4-run deficit, really. He's got some outs to play with, too.
Now pitching.
That'll be the day for Willie Dixon. Buddy Guy comes in to pitch. Same arsenal. That curveball is left in the zone and is belted to deep center field. Lazy getting a bit underneath it. It will be caught at the warning track by Muddy Waters.
Yeah, just a bit underneath it. Lazy with a good power swing. Good score. That one smashed to shortstop on the first pitch. Elmore James able to collect it, send it over to first, though. And 2 very quick outs.
2 pitches, 2 outs from Buddy Guy. This brings up Tiger. This was the bottom of the order due up for Lazy. You can see Lanky is tense there at second base, and that'll be the day for Tiger. Juicy Jones coming in to pinch hit in this 2-out, nobody on spot.
Lazy running out of options in his pen.
Yeah, only 2 pitchers left in the bullpen for Lazy and the Jackals. And at least 2 big innings left as that one is smoked, but right into the glove of Butterfield at first. So 3 well-hit balls off the bat of Lazy, but just unable to do anything with them. Cool Schmool comes in. The low velo, low junk, nothing but accuracy off of the closer with the submarine release. Bottom of the order here for the Blues, but comparing the bottom of the order of the Jackals and the Blues just isn't fair. The Blues, identical contact and power throughout their entire lineup as that one is lifted to deep right field. Amy B gets under it, makes the grab for out number 1.
Yeah, really tough to compare there. But Lazy here, able to get a nice first out with Cool Schmool. Like you said, he's all accuracy, really needs to hit his spots. That changeup was nicely hit by Ashnod right up the middle. Lazy getting the placement he wanted with the changeup. Maybe just a little bit too much of the zone there. But
but is ripped up the middle for a base hit. Brings up the pitcher spot, Buddy Guy. And Buddy Guy is done for the day. So both the Jackals and the Blues down to just 2 pitchers left in their bullpen as that one is hit right to the third baseman who just does not catch the ball. Everyone is safe, first and second, with 1 out. A big break there for Ashnod. As his top of the order comes up with a runner in scoring position, he has the chance to blow this game wide open yet again.
Yeah, that's tough there from Lazy's third baseman, Wacky Wanda. With 1 out, Ashnod, that runner in scoring position, you just feel so dangerous because Lazy's running out of time.
Cool Schmuel gets into a good count here against Muddy Waters, however. The 1-2, sticking with the curveball, swung on and fouled. Pitch count getting up, the closer having the worst stamina of any pitcher. As that one, weak contact, finds grass in left field. A run will come in to score for the Blues. Second and third, 1 out. The Blues have a 13-8 lead.
And, you know, that'll happen sometimes on what you would consider a high changeup like that, or maybe an outside cutter, one of those pitcher's pitches. Sometimes you're just dealing with some of the best hitters in the game. They're able to get the reticle there and just push it over where it needs to get. As Ashnod might have a sacrifice fly here. Nicely done.
Sack fly to right field brings in another run to score. The Blues back to a 6-run lead. 14-8 they lead here at Sakura Hills. And Pack-a-Punch will come in. And that is it for Lazy's bullpen, is it not?
Yeah, I think that is. Pack-a-Punch is going to have to carry Lazy through the rest of this game. He's got the bottom of the 8th to bat through, and then top of the 9th to work through as well with Pack-a-Punch. So,
depending, we've seen what Ashnod can do against these relievers. This is assuming, of course, that this game does not get into mercy territory as Pack-a-Punch delivers a walk. Mavis Staples up to bat with runners at first and second and 2 outs. Pack-a-Punch looking to end this inning, keep the bleeding to a minimum. Lazy and the Jackals trail by 6. Swing and a miss there on the high heat. K-Man activates for Pack-a-Punch for the first time. Just a bit outside 103 miles per hour. The 2-2, a wild pitch is swung on, hammered up the middle, base hit. Normus is going to have to hurry. The throw home will not be in time. First and third with 2 outs, 15-8. The Blues lead, and Elmore James could put us into mercy territory with 1 swing of the bat.
Yeah, and he's locked in. Lazy has to be very careful with the placement here. Let's see what he does. Pack-a-Punch already getting up there in pitch. He's thrown 12.
That one is ripped, but right into the glove of Wanda at third base. No mercy territory here. 15-8, the Blues lead. The Jackals need a breakout inning like they had in game number 1 if they want to take the lead in this World Series. Ashnod is going to the bullpen here. 2 pitchers left in his bullpen. He's going with the closer here in the 8th, Willie Big Eye Smith, up against Cox Enormous. 4-pitch arsenal for the closer. First pitch is in there for a strike. Look at that velo from the closer.
Yeah, absolutely. Juice in there is Willie Big Eye Smith. Just firing it in there. No K-Man necessary. Lazy's got to find something here in the bottom of the 8th. It's all on his pitcher, Pack-a-Punch, too. He's going to have to bat with him as well if he gets to that point in the order.
The 0-2 out of the zone. Lazy goes fishing, grounds it to second. The throw in time for out number 1. And you can see the difference here in strategy between these 2 players. Willie Big Eye Smith, the closer, nothing but velo. And then no velo for the closer in Lazy's bullpen as that one is looped into center field for a 1-out single. No velo, no junk, just all accuracy for Lazy's closer. And right now it looks like Willie Big Eye Smith is faring just a little bit better than the closer in Lazy's bullpen. But we'll see how long that lasts. Amy B still tense. Rips that one over the glove of the shortstop. First and second with 1 out. Here come the Jackals, but they have a mountain to climb.
Yeah, indeed they do, but Lazy can do it just as well as anybody. As we've seen, like you said, he's looking for a way to rally up here, keep things going. That was a high changeup. It looked like 85 miles an hour. It got Lazy swinging there.
Kim Toe loops that one into center field. The bases are loaded with 1 out for the Jackals. They need to convert these runners. Lazy already, I say already, but this game has left quite a few runners on the base paths. Can he convert here with Kid K? An ugly swing there for strike 1. That pitch right on the inside corner, and Ash goes there again. A quick 0-2 from Big Eye Smith. The third pitch misses inside for a ball. The 1-2 here to Kid K. Swung on weakly towards second. The throw to second in time, on to first. The inning-ending double play. It is written in the stars for the Blues. Can they close it out here?
I don't know. A big Game 2 victory could be on the way here for Ashnod. He's looking for a way to tack it on. Either way, we're getting a full 9 innings after games 1 and 2 the other day. We're not able to get out of Mercy territory, so these two really just putting on a show either way.
That big changeup is just hammered into deep left field by Ashnod. A sliding double, close play there at second, but Ashnod was able to get in there, and just a bit of a late jump from the left fielder, unable to make the catch. That would have been an amazing catch if Lazy was able to convert it. A leadoff double. The Blues looking to extend that lead against Lazy's final pitcher here. Pack a punch. K-Man activates. Just a bit high on the curveball. The 2-2. Just a bit inside. Works the count full. The payoff pitch here to Mahalia Jackson. Goes for the low heat. Swung on and missed.
That was really nicely done by Lazy. He just had to go and reach back for the fastball, and he got it done. And Lemonzilla with a great dive sends it over to first. Nicely done for out number 2. So Lazy gets 2 quick outs here. Peck-a-Punch might be able to bring him to the bottom of the 9th.
Lazy's been showing some outstanding defense in this game, but as you can see, outstanding defense can only get you so far. The Blues still able to score 15 runs. Swing and a miss there on the high heat. Pack-a-Punch looking to get out of this one. The 2-2, just a bit inside, works the count full. A runner on third, 2 outs. The payoff pitch, swung on, weak contact towards Kid K, picks it up, steps on the bag for out number 3. So a rare scoreless inning in this game in the top of the 9th, but the Jackals trail by 7. And Ashnod only needs 3 outs to take a World Series lead here by 2-1. 1-0 is hammered right into the glove of a diving Staples. Throws to first for out number 1. Some good defense there from Ashnod.
Yeah, the defense has held up pretty well here for Ashnod as well. Lazy with a heartbreaker earlier in the game in center field on a nice diving play by Ashnod, and it's really shown the difference here. I mean, 7 runs is close between these two, really, the way things go.
Grounded to James at short. The throw to first in time for out number 2, and Ashnod is just 1 out away from taking that 2-1 lead, heading to his home field of Lafayette. And everything is going right for the Blues here. The 2-0 misses inside. Lemonzilla, the last hope right now for the Jackals. Swing and a miss on the low change. Big Eye Smith, 21 pitches thrown. The closer, stamina going down. That one is looped towards center field. The diving effort from Staples. She does not come up with it. That'll be a 2-out single. The game stays alive for the Jackals for the time being. Oh, but here comes Pack-a-Punch, and Lazy cannot go to the bench here as Pack-a-Punch is the last remaining pitcher for the Jackals. Big swing and a miss there on the low pitch. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 strike to end the game. The 1-2. Swung on, weak contact towards center field. That'll find grass. The game continues, and the lineup turns over here for the Jackals.
Nicely done by Lazy to just get a hit with his pitcher. He had to do something there, or else the game is over. And we've got the turnover. Cox Enormous there. Just smashed that one foul.
0-1. Swung on, hard hit, but right to the glove of Staples at second. The throw to first. Out number 3, and that is the ball game. Ashnod's coupon and the Chicago Blues take a 2-1 lead in the World Series.
That's huge for Ashnod, and he's got himself going to his home stadium. I mean, winning the away game there at Sakura, and utilizing his power for a couple stretches there, but really just being able to string together hits. That was a complete offensive performance. Lazy had a lot of trouble keeping up with that.
Ashnod clearly just adapting better to 93 batting ego than Lazy, it seems like. Lazy with a lot of weak contact, and Ash with a bit of weak contact as well, but when he's getting weak contact, it mostly feels like his shots are getting down. Weak contact for a base hit, weak contact for a base hit there, weak contact for a double over the leaping glove of the third baseman. But Ash is also able to mix it in with some really hard hit balls, some big dingers, some clutch shots. Lazy was able to get that grand slam, but he left way too many runners in scoring position, way too stranding the bases loaded twice, I believe, in that game. And it just, the mistakes there caught up to Lazy. He wasn't able to get it done. And now we head to Lafayette Corner. Ashnod's coupon with a 2-1 lead in the World Series, looking to extend it at home and try to win his first ever World Series here in the XBL.
Yeah, and we saw in game 2 how that home cooking turned out for Ashnod. The home runs really came out to play in the smaller stadium. So Lazy's going to have to really clamp down here if he wants to, keep his chances anywhere close to, what you would consider alive. Coming down 3-1, there's almost a death sentence, but anything's possible here in the XBL. We know that. So here it is. This is game 4. This is pivotal.
The center fielder.
The key to Lazy right here is going to be trying to find some lift on the ball. He was able to find it for the grand slam in game number 3, but he's going to have to try to find a way to convert his line drives into balls that go up and over these fences without converting them to weak contact, which we did see a number of times there in game number 3. John Lee Hooker is on the mound here for Ashnod's Coupon and the Chicago Blues. Gets behind in the count, 3-1. Facing off against Coxie Normus, the 3-1. Right down the middle. Belted but foul down the first base line. Just a bit late on that one.
That was the one Lazy wanted, and then Ashnod able to paint there. Strikes him out looking for a big out number 1 to start this game.
Right on the corner, just what the doctor ordered for Ashnod. 1 out, nobody on. A big K to start things out. Snappy Pop looks at strike 1. The 1-1 here from Hooker. 5-pitch arsenal. This is just a bit inside. The 2-1.
Off the plate.
Just off the plate with the changeup. Gets into another 3-1 here. That one a bit high, and Snappy Pop is aboard with a 1-out walk. Amy B up to bat, batting .333 here in this postseason. Swings at the first pitch, grounded towards the hole. James has to leave his feet. The throw on to first, not in time. Just enough speed from Amy B to get aboard on the infield single. First and second with 1 out for Kim Toe. First pitch in there for a strike just on the outside corner.
This is really good for Lazy. Needs to wait for his pitch. Ashnod, though, 2 great pitches to start the at-bat. He's just hitting those corners with absolute precision.
The 0-2 in there for a strike as well. Strike 3 called, and I'm with Lazy on that. I'm not swinging at any of those pitches, and that is exactly how you need to pitch against a batter like Kim Toe.
Absolutely. You can see that the character in the animation, he just dropped the bat there and gave up. Ashnod is just locking Lazy down with those pitches like that. Kid K nails it on a line to right field, but that's out number 3, so nicely done by Ash to escape any damage there.
Here come the Blues. If you're Lazy, you know that this first inning is going to be the biggest. You need to be able to get out of this inning without giving up a big run to Ashnod. And Ashnod knows that this is where he needs to strike against Yosei Yeesh with a 1.13 ERA in this postseason. Dwayne, I have a hard time feeling that that's going to be staying the same.
Yeah, that's going to be absolutely put to the test here. Lazy needs to lock in here with Yeesh. This is his number 4 starter, so it might be tough, but this is the time. It's got to happen.
The payoff pitch there is lined right into the glove of the first baseman, Kid K, for out number 1. So the 1-0 in there for a strike against Jake Blues. The 1-1 goes with the high changeup, just a bit too high, and Ash does not offer. Goes a little bit lower in the zone with the heat. That one is ripped into the glove of the leaping Wacky Wanda for out number 2. 2 outs here. Nobody on for Elwood Blues. Goes with the high changeup again. That one is belted to deep center field. Coxie Normus moves in front of the warning track, makes the grab for out number 3. So, both players trading scoreless innings to start things off. Wacky Wanda starting things off here for the Jackals in the second. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it into the seats.
Yeah, that one hit about 90 degrees by Lazy just so early. You can tell he really wanted it. That one's going to sneak through the hole between short and third base. So nicely done by Lazy to hit it where it was pitched. Get on now with the leadoff runner. Not a lot of speed there. We'll see what he can do with Larry Lanky.
Larry Lanky going to try to find some outfield grass to move the runner over. Swing and a miss there on the changeup off the plate. The 0-2. Off the plate again with the changeup. Lazy does not offer this time. The 1-2 from Hooker. Fastball off the plate. Evens up the count at 2-2. The delivery from Hooker on the way. Just a bit inside, not missing by much. The payoff pitch in there for a strike. Strike 3 called. The fastball that time finding that inside corner and Lazy taking all the way.
That location's really working for Ash tonight. Lazy just doesn't want to offer at it. He might eventually be in a position where he has to, but right now it's 0-0. He's got the luxury of being able to sort of pick his pitch.
Lazy finds some decent contact there, but right into the glove of the second baseman for out number 2. So we get that leadoff runner, but now 2 outs. Runner still at first base, and it's the pitcher batting, Yosei Yish. 1-1. Swing and a miss on the high heat. Hooker. 32 pitches thrown here in the second, but gets the strikeout. Swing and a miss, overpowering the pitcher with the heat. 4, 5, 6 batters due up here for the Blues.
Yeah, this is interesting so far, at least through 1.5. They're just sort of getting to each other with the pitching game. That one snatched up by Wacky Wanda. It was hit hard by Ash, but it's out number 1 on the grounder.
Yeah, with how Wacky Wanda has been playing at third base, I was holding my breath on whether she was going to pick that ball up. She did indeed. Gets the out at first. This brings up to Elmore James in a 1-1 count. The high changeup finds the corner for strike 2. Goes a little bit outside the zone with that changeup. Ashnod, good eye, does not chase. This fastball down Broadway, swung on and belted to deep left field. It's a pop-up in most stadiums, and it will still be one here in Lafayette, but it's right at the warning track.
Yeah, that is a short left field wall there. That one, you can see Ashnod just underneath it. It was way high in the air. The snappy pop catches the pop-up. It's a nice out number 2.
With that out, Yosei Yish is locked in, and 6 in a row retired for Yosei Yish. A good start for the Jackals, contrasting with the last few games that the Lazy's pitching has had to deal with. John Lee Hooker also locked in on the mound, so a bit of a pitching duel so far. It feels like we're just waiting for things to boil over, though, Dwayne.
Yeah, indeed. It feels like it could happen at any moment. One mistake pitch is going to be the one, but I don't know. We could just as easily see these two sort of just playing the chess match and trying to find a way to chip away and not be able to. We'll see how this scoreless tie lasts.
Hooker gets the batter to pop up. First pitch swinging there. Grounded to Butterfield. Steps on the bag. Too quickly away here for Amy B in the top of the third. 2 outs, nobody on. Hooker delivers. That first pitch belted, but right towards James. Picks it up, throws it to first. A quick 1-2-3 inning, just what the Blues want to see. 7, 8, 9 batters due up. Mahalia Jackson and BB King may be at the bottom of the order, but they still can drive the ball deep. Same stats as the rest of Ashnod's batting. So Ash, I'm sure, very comfortable with these batters nonetheless. And Yosei Yish still has a mountain to climb, though her ERA right now is sub-1. How about that?
Yeah, Lazy's doing great with his number 4. He needs to keep the mojo rolling.
Curveball on the outside on the 2-2. Swung on, lifted to shallow right field. Lanky ranges back, makes the grab for out number 1. This brings up BB King.
And through 8 World Series games, I think, between these two players, BB King strokes that one up the middle for a nice 1-out single for Ashnod and his Blues. But through 8 games that these two have played now, this might be the deepest they've gone scoreless.
Seriously, it does feel like this is just an absolute pitcher's duel that we haven't seen between these two players before. That heater swung on and missed by John Lee Hooker, the pitcher. Trying to do something with the Blues' first base runner of the game, and the pitcher gets aboard with a 1-out single. Turns the lineup over for Muddy Waters. First and second with 1 out against Yosei Yish, no longer locked in. Mojo down to neutral. This could be a pickle for Lazy if he's not able to handle it effectively.
Yeah, he's got to find that location with Yish. You can see he's behind in the count now. He's going to bring the
curveball in the zone. That one, B has to make a play on it. The running effort makes the grab. Doesn't even have to leave her feet. Ashnod smartly getting back to the bases. Does not get doubled up. 2 outs, runners on first and second for Jake Blues. Here in a big situation. That one swung on. That's going to find grass in right field. A hard hit towards Amy B. Thinks about home, then goes back to third. So the bases are loaded here for the Chicago Blues as Elwood Blues steps up to bat. Number 3 batter. First pitch, curveball is belted to deep center field. Cox Enormous ranging back at the warning track. Makes the grab for out number 3. The Blues threaten, but they do not score. The Jackals face down against Hooker, who's locked in, and Kim Toe up to bat.
Yeah, Yish able to preserve that ERA, at least for now. And John Lee Hooker doing his part as well. His is right smack dab at one. That is a 9-3 putout in the World Series.
Kim Toe has the power, but not the speed. And that one couldn't have been any better for Ash to make that play. It was drilled hard right at his right fielder. He had the momentum. He was able to pick it up, fire it to first, and that shallow right field, how close that wall is in right field in Lafayette. And that becomes, oh, I spoke too soon. Elwood James with a defensive misplay, and the Jackals get that runner back on an infield single.
Yeah, that one, Elmore James taking it off the chest, taking one for the team, unable to prevent the hit. So Lazy's got a chance with Larry Lanky.
Larry Lanky up to bat against John Lee Hooker. Swing and a miss brings the count to 1-2. That one in the dirt, not offered at. Runner on first, 2 outs for Larry Lanky. That one swung on and driven into the dugout, foul. The 2-2. Just off the plate, good patience there from Lazy. The payoff pitch, way inside. Probably a wild pitch there from Ashnod. First and second with 2 outs for Lemonzilla. John Lee Hooker still locked in. That one is ripped, but right into the glove of Staples at second, and that'll end the inning.
Yeah, Lazy hitting the ball hard there, but unable to get it out of the infield. They remain scoreless through 3.5.
Yosei Yeesh, 40th pitch on the way in there. Swung on and missed. So the 0-2 here to Mavis Staples. Going with that high changeup, weak contact right towards Lanky. Doesn't have to move, makes the grab for out number 1. Yosei Yeesh is locked in yet again. It's a back and forth battle between these two, but nobody able to put a run on the board yet. The 1-1 here to Elmore James going with the heat. It's wild, misses high. The 2-1 to James. In there for a strike, finding that outside corner. The 2-2 staying with the heat, swung on. Lanky isn't able to come up with it. Gets into center field. A 1-out single for the Blues as they're going to try to bring in a runner to score yet again. And Yeesh is down to neutral mojo.
Yeah, and that pitch count's starting to pile up. You can see her velocity just tick underneath where it normally stays.
Still a good job. 49 pitches thrown. B's going to have to hurry. Makes the grab in shallow right field for out number 2. And Ashnod able to get back to first in time to avoid getting doubled up. So Mahalia Jackson comes in, takes the first pitch curveball in there for a strike. Yeesh locked in again. It's this teeter-totter for the starting pitcher. Locked in neutral, locked in neutral. Lazy trying to get it to stay in his favor. Ashnod trying to break it. Weak contact over the glove of Wanda at third. First and second with 2 outs. Mojo down for the pitcher. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, now Yeesh really has to work here as that one is smashed to right, and that's not coming back into the second deck. A 3-run home run for the Chicago Blues.
And that is what they needed, Dwayne, in order to break this game open. BB King, the number 8 batter, but his power and contact no different from this 5-bar power offense. Absolutely unstoppable in the hands of Ashnod's Coupon. And that is exactly what he was able to do after 3 2/3 scoreless innings. Able to break it open with a 3-run shot to right field. This brings up the pitcher, John Lee Hooker, who gets into a good count himself, 3-1. Yeesh was teetering between locked in and neutral, and now look at that. Tense mojo on the mound for this starter. The 3-2 curveball is fouled into the dugout. Another payoff pitch here to Hooker. Misses, and it's a walk for the pitcher, and the lineup turns over for the Blues.
You can see now the pitch count really piling up for Yosei Yeesh, and now the mojo down. Lazy needs to find that 3rd out. Nicely done to start the at-bat, but he's even at 1-1 now.
That's up.
I change up misses for ball 2. So the 2-1 here to Muddy Waters is also going to miss. So that's the 3-1 here to Waters. Yeesh has to put this into the strike zone. The changeup is fouled over the zone. So a payoff pitch on the way from Yeesh. Already 66 pitches thrown now, but swung on and missed. Found the location with the high inside heater. But the Blues do score the first runs of the game and take a 3-0 lead.
Number 8.
And Ham Choi is coming in to pinch hit for the pitcher. First pitch is swung on towards right field, and Blues makes the grab for out number 1.
And Ashnod is really cruising with John Lee Hooker here, so Lazy needs to find a way to work for his pitch, find some strikes over the middle of the plate. That one is crushed to left, and Lazy's going to have an answer, at least a solo shot. Nicely done with his leadoff hitter.
Lazy cutting into that deficit, answering back with a big 1-out solo shot to deep left field. So the Jackals are on the board here in the top of the 5th. They trail 1-3. Snappy Pop is up to bat. Swings at that one, laces it towards the gap in left field. Will it get down? The diving effort from Blues cuts it off before it hits the wall. It will still be a 1-out double for the Jackals. And just like that, the tying run comes to the plate in the form of Amy B.
Yeah, Ashnod just missing that catch by maybe a foot or two.
Swings at the first pitch, 60 power. Caught in front of the warning track by Blues. Going to try to tag up is Lazy. He'll be in there. Third base, 2 outs. Kim Toe is tense at the plate. Not what you want to see if you are Lazy. Possibly after that 9-3 putout that we saw earlier in the game. This is a big at-bat for Lazy. 2 outs, a runner in scoring position. Needs to convert this runner. Good pitch there from Ashnod in the strike zone, high and in. The 1-2, taken all the way, and that's strike 3. Lazy could not pull the trigger on those pitches, and Ashnod able to shut things down, holding on to a 3-1 lead.
That's the second time in this game we've seen Lazy and his hitter Kim Toe go down on that low inside heater. Just not a pitch he seems to see well in the strike zone or one he wants to offer at.
A leadoff single there for the Blues, looking to keep this train rolling. Tiger is in the game now. Third pitch is swung on and fouled down the first base line. An 0-2 count here for Elwood Blues with a runner on first and nobody out. The high heat is swung on towards Lanky, picks it up, throw to second in time to throw on to first. A big double play there to clear the bases.
Yeah, it's huge. Rare double play out of the Blues. Lazy getting a favor there with Tiger. Let's see now if he can find the third out. This game very close at 3-1. Quite the contrast from what we just saw in Game 3.
High heater foul down the line, keeps the count at 0-2. That curveball belted. Kid K with the dive, just mistimed, unable to come up with it. A 2-out single for Ashnod. Elmore James steps up. Tiger. The delivery, first pitch swinging, weak contact, shallow right field. Linky moves back, gets the grab for out number 3. So the Blues get a runner on, but do not score. The Jackals trail by 2 here in the top of the 6th. First pitch swinging, might have been in the zone, but is hammered right at Staples into her glove for out number 1. 62 pitches, the starter still in despite a neutral mojo. That's still looking decent here for Hooker against Wacky Wanda. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2.
Yeah, Ashnod's got to have to use that starter as long as he's working, you think. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's known to go to that bullpen pretty early, but any length you can get out of your starter, especially in a World Series game, is going to be beneficial. As that one stroked to right, but caught by Blues on his shoe tops for out number 2.
Yeah, it looked like it was destined for the gap, but then just started trailing towards the right fielder. That one is hammered. Just not enough power by Lazy towards Staples again. More action for the second baseman. She picks it up, fires it to first for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning there for the Jackals. And the Blues up to bat now, looking to extend their 3-1 lead. 6-7-8 due up here. Paul Butterfield leading the inning off. Tiger, 12 pitches thrown. Is in a good count here, 1-2. Goes with a high changeup. Swung on, weak contact towards Wanda. Catches it before it hits the dirt. That is out number 1.
Nice quick out number 1. That's what you need if you're Lazy. Try to get to the top of the 7th and get back into this one. Try to cut away at this 2-run deficit.
And a bad count here for Tiger. The 3-0 to Jackson is in there for a strike. Gonna have to find a way to recover out of this count. This heater in the zone. Jackson is all over it. Smash to deep right field. And that's another solo shot for Ashnod's Coupon and the Chicago Blues.
Yeah, that one crushed 402 feet even in Lafayette. A lot of parks not really going to hold that one. And Ashnod doing what he does best. You can't make one mistake to him or he will tackle on those insurance runs.
Again, it's in that 3-1 count, almost impossible to avoid, and yet you have to make sure you do your best on it, and Lazy just a bit too much of the strike zone with that pitch, and Ash was all over it, not going to miss that heater in the zone. This might be the day for John Lee Hooker. He is locked in, but his stats were getting up there. Pitch count, I should say. His stats starting to come down. As Ashnod was able to get that single off after the home run. Magic Sam does come in to pinch hit. A little bit better stats than the pitcher, though not by much. Does get that lefty on righty matchup he's looking for. Yeah, runner on first with 1 out.
Yeah, so Ashnod's not going to be the one to risk leaving Hooker in there. He's going to trust that bullpen. as he lifts it to right for out number 2.
Try to get some of those better, that higher velo that we saw him utilize in the last game from his bullpen, as that one is ripped up the middle. First and second with 2 outs here for the Blues. Number 2 batter coming up, Jake Blues. Tiger starting to get his pitch count up there. 25 pitches thrown. Lazy would love to get out of this inning with him, but that heater's left in the zone. Coxie is going to have to hurry back. A late jump. He's not going to be able to do anything with it. 1 run comes in to score. Rounding third for the second run. That'll come in to score as well. And the Chicago Blues have blown things wide open here in the bottom of the 6th as they lead 6-1.
Yeah, Lazy's got to be careful with that placement. Watch out for that changeup as Ashnod hits a foul.
Listen to a good count here, 0-2. Lazy just trying to stem the bleeding as that one is fouled into the seats. Count staying at 0-2. Tiger is tense. The high changeup is in the zone, but swung on and missed. Ashnod was seeking a fastball all the way there. But you can hardly think that that Ashnod is upset with scoring another 3 runs there, especially when runs have been so hard to come by in this game for both teams.
Absolutely. It's been all Ashnod really in this series, if you ask me right now, and Lazy needs to put a stop to it. Is here in this top of the 7th. He needs to, make a big pinch hit here and get a rally going like we saw in that first game, because his title defense is on the line. It's a 2-1 series in favor of the Blues. It's a late lead here in Game 4. It couldn't look any more dismal.
And for Lazy, some of these pitches that Ash is getting are just pitches that you can't swing the bat on. You just can't, and they're being called strikes every time. As that one, he goes fishing for that one out of the zone, and it's caught by the shortstop. And Ashnod is just doing an amazing job of locating these pitches and just overpowering the pitching minigame on his end.
Well, I think what it is Lazy needs to now use that bat and start swinging at those pitches. I know his instinct into the strike zone is so good as they come, but it's time now to just try and get bat to ball and make something happen. It doesn't matter if it's a strike or a ball.
That one is hammered, and it does drop in front of the left fielder, so another bases-loaded situation for the Jackals. We have seen this before, Dwayne, and Lazy has not been having a ton of success off of it, save for that grand slam in the previous game. He needs some magic here. Lefty on lefty, specialist activated for Willie Dixon against Amy B here. The 1-1 inside brings the count to 2-1. Bases loaded with 1 out. The Jackals trail by 5. Chases that one out of the zone. Swing and a miss. The 2-2 here to Amy B. The delivery. Swung on, weak contact into the glove of the shortstop, James. That's out number 2. The bases stay loaded for Kim Toe, who is tense. Looking for that outside pitch. The first pitch inside off the plate for a ball. 100 miles per hour was that heater. Swing and a miss. Staying with the heat, that time in the zone. The 1-1. Just a bit inside, brings the count to 2-1. The delivery, in there for a strike. Kim Toe wasn't swinging. The 2-2. Swung on, weak contact towards the third baseman. Jackson throws to first, and Ashnod gets out of the bases-loaded jam yet again.
He can't be stopped right now. Lazy just has no answer for the utilization of Ashnod's just location and sequencing. He's pounding him with the fastball. He's using the breaking ball while he's using the changeup so well. And there's nothing he can do.
And Lazy is trying to find... Oh, and a sliding effort from Snappy Pop as he's able to make a spectacular catch there in left field. You'll notice Lazy's trying to find those same locations, and it's just not happening for him. It's being called a ball, or he's getting that strike location, but Ash is still all over it. His eyes seem to be trained for this batting at 93 ego.
Yeah, the ego jump was a nod to try and keep these games closer, and they have been a lot closer and a lot more competitive, I feel like. But Ashnod still a cut above with his ability to get to the ball, to see it well. He's just well practiced in this game. You can tell his hitting ability is the best in the world as far as PvP is concerned.
And of course, we deal with online leagues here for the XBL. All of our leagues are played in the online league system, as Ashnod gets a free base there, stealing up 5 runs. Goes from first to second. Of course, no lead is safe in this World Series. As that curveball didn't even need that stolen base, as that one is gone. Slammed into the dugout in left field. The bullpen in left field. 8-1, the Blues lead it, and Dwayne, the Blues look to be taking a 3-1 World Series lead, and they can smell that World Series championship.
Absolutely. Ashnod wants to finish this in 5, going for that gentleman's sweep, but he has to close things out here in Game 4 first. He could do it with the bat, the way he's hitting. He's got another runner on here. and he needs 3 runs.
Absolutely. We're seeing Little Lackey again, who just got slaughtered by the Chicago Blues in Game 3. And it looks like the same thing is going to be happening to this reliever here. Just unable to get any outs to speak of. The 1-2 gets into a good count here against the whiffer. K-Dot activates. Ashnod lays off that pitch on the outside part of the plate. It is off the plate. That one inside off the plate. Works the count full. Changeup right over the plate, but Ashnod unable to adjust to the timing. Swung on and missed for out number 2. This brings up Willie Dixon. Could be his day here. I think Ashnod thinking about trying to go for the mercy win. We'll see what he does here in the pitcher spot.
Yeah, I think all of his batters on the bench all going to have a little bit of contact, a little bit of power. Nothing really doing that's much different than what Willie has. He's going to go ahead and leave Willie in. Just bet on the bat, see what he can do.
And again, the batting of his bench is scarcely better than what you have here for Willie Dixon. It's slightly better, but you really don't see much of an improvement between the pitcher's bat and the bats off the benches. That one is hammered on the ground towards Lanky, picks it up, throws it to first for out number 3. What it does tell us, Dwayne, is that Ashnod is very confident in the arm of Willie Dixon here, leaving him in, wanting to keep that specialist arm active. Does not come into effect here against Kid K, the righty on lefty matchup, but the Jackals with just a 7-run mountain to climb here late in the game with only 6 outs to work with.
Yeah, Ashnod knowing who he's had success with, using Willie Dixon again here in this game. Willie was great in the last one. And yeah, he's just, again, painting. Lazy's using a good eye, but he's not offering at those pitches, and this is the time where he just has to.
Frozen by the inside pitch, called a strike, and that's out number 1. And Lazy just seeming to be patient at times, but just a little bit too patient. Just can't pull the trigger on those pitches on the corner. And credit to Ashnod for being able to find those locations, but there comes a time when you have to start adjusting your eye, and especially at this level of play, and start going for those pitches, even if you think they might be balls. He goes for that one there, but it's a tough thing to adjust to, because when you do get that good contact like he did right there, and you think it's going to drop for a base hit, it's slammed right into the glove of an infielder like it was right there.
Absolutely, yeah. He's just not getting the breaks either when he needs them, and it's all going well for Ashnod right now. The bat seems unstoppable. This is truly the biggest mountain of adversity I think Lazy's had to face in his XBL career thus far.
Willie Big Eye Smith coming in, the closer. So Willie Dixon's day is done. But Lazy able to find some grass there in right field, gets a good piece of lumber on the ball. So a runner on first here with 2 outs for Lemonzilla. Swings at the first pitch, grounded to short, picks it up, throws it to first for out number 3. And the Blues have a real shot at just ending the game right here in the bottom of the 8th. Little Lackey still in the game, missed pitch, and that's going to be looped, I should say drilled into center field for a base hit.
Yeah, that was crushed by Ash. Start things off. That is the top of his order, so Muddy Waters is on base. Going to be looking for more pitches to hit off a Little Lackey.
And that's the one difference between the top of his order and the bottom of it is more speed. That one hit right at Lanky. Lanky choosing simply not to field it. So that'll be some more bases for the Blues. Second and third with nobody out. And just a shame for Lazy there. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do about that one. So the winning run's at the plate, but that one looped right into the glove of Lanky, and the throw to second doubled up for a double play. What the heck, Dwayne?
Yeah, I don't know. Lanky making up for that previous play where the ball was hit so hard. He just had no reaction, and that is crushed. So Ashnod will get 2 runs, make it a 10-1 ball game, but that will be following the double play, which would have ended the game.
The game there, but Ashnod still has more than enough power to do it right here off of the bat of Elmore James. It at least extends the game for 1 additional at bat. Let's put it that way. As Little Lackey gets behind in the count here, it's going to be a 3-0 count here to Elmore James. She is tense, staying in the game. A curveball in the zone, in there for a strike. The 3-1 here to James. Curveball way in the zone. Is swung on and belted into center field, and the winning run is at first base.
Yeah, Ashnod's got 2 outs here, but he's shown the ability so far to just turn it on. Doesn't matter what the count is, what the outs are. He just needs a pitch to hit. And Butterfield, just early on that curveball, could have done it right there.
And you can almost feel like Lazy's not entirely has confidence in himself at this point, actually, leaving Little Lackey in with these stats. Lanky has to dive, does not come up with the ball. Another single here for the Blues. Goes to first, but not in time for the 9-3 putout. So first and second up against Mahalia Jackson. Lazy does go to the pen here with Pack-a-Punch. Going to try to get that last out, find a way to keep this game going. Nope, it's drilled into the gap in right field, and that'll be the ball game. The Chicago Blues get the 8th-inning mercy and take a 3-1 World Series lead. They are 1 win away from winning the World Series.
1 win away is Ashnod's coupon, like you just said, from winning the World Series. Wow, he's shown an absolute dominant force so far in this World Series and in the playoffs so far. I've never seen a player look as unstoppable as he does right now.
And Ash, I feel, has so much of an advantage in this game, in this series. His bat seemingly unaffected by 93 ego. When you look at Ashnod in the pennant race, I know I was talking about this a little bit earlier briefly. We do this through online league, so we are locked at 90 ego throughout the regular season for the XBL. We bump it up to 93 ego only for the semifinals and the World Series. In pennant race, where you use the game's standard teams every week, there's like a little, it's their competitive worldwide game. Ashnod, the ego, it varies for player to player, and it goes up or down depending on how well you perform. The last I checked, Ashnod is playing pennant race at about 95 ego, which is 2 ego points above 93, and he is still putting up double-digit number wins against some of these other players that are also playing in this 80 to 90 ego range. So Lazy, on the other hand, does not play pennant race, does not have experience playing at this ego bump 3 levels above where he usually plays in the online league. And it just seems to be just this little bit of a bump that is putting the game entirely in Ashnod's favor. And Lazy's just not able to adapt to this higher level of difficulty at the plate. You're seeing Ashnod nailing these locations on the corners. Lazy unable to catch up with them. He's able to get runners on the base, but 9 times out of 10, he isn't able to convert those runners into actual runs. Ashnod is able to shut it down each time, finding his locations. Lazy not able to pull the trigger, knowing that it's a big situation where he needs to drive these runs into score. And he's staring at these pitches right on the corner. And then when he does swing, it's just he's not getting the lift on it to get it over the fence, or to find grass in the outfield. It's just not going his way off the bat. Whereas for Ashnod, you're seeing a lot of patience at the plate from Ashnod. He's waiting for his pitches. He is able to draw a ton of walks off of Lazy. And when Lazy makes a mistake pitch, Ashnod is all over it. We've seen it through these last few games. Ashnod is really dialing into Lazy's pitching. Only fooled a couple of times on some changeups, but for the most part, he is clobbering these mistakes and sending them over the fence, or just there were multiple times when he was just lacing together some hits and Lazy wasn't able to stop it. Ashnod really is in full control of this series, and he is just 1 win away from winning the World Series.
Yeah, I think what it really comes down to, as opposed to Ashnod really having an advantage on the ego, is Ashnod plays more, he's been practicing more, he lost the last World Series, and he wants to win this one. So now he's up ahead 3-1 after completely dominating Lazy in the past 3 games. It's showing that he's ready for this. I mean, yeah, he's up above the ego that we're at right now in the World Series, being at 95 in pennant race, but I think he might be the only one in the world who is at that ego. So, he's really on the top of his game. You got to beat him at his best right now. Lazy was able to beat him before when they were both a lot more even, and it feels like right now Ashnod is truly at his best, and he's ready to lock it down. I mean, he's 1 win away, like we've said. Yeah, it's been far and away Ashnod's series. His ability to rally, just get base hits like Lazy was able to last season, and then just following it up with the home runs. And once we were in the smaller park, you could see he was getting more of the home runs because the ball just carries a bit more there. But either way, those are hits, those are gappers in Sakura that he was getting. He's just been dominating on the ball. He's been playing good baseball. There hasn't been a lot of shenanigans, really, as far as errors and things like that either, to get really in the way. So the games have been pretty much just on the raw skill right now, and Ashnod has the up and up.
We've seen a few shenanigans, but I like the addendum you put in. They haven't done anything to affect the outcome of any of these games. I would say
games that are being decided by any sort of errors or anything like that. These are big runs, big totals, big differentials that these guys are having to bounce back and deal with.
I mean, yeah, you look at the final scores between these two games, between these two teams. Even the first game number one, that Lazy won, none of these games look even remotely close by a scoreboard standard. You're seeing one team putting up double-digit runs and the other team not. So it doesn't seem like these are very close games. But you come in here and you watch, and you can see that both of these teams have the potential to break out at any moment. This game 4, I think, was a perfect example of that. Those first few innings, they were neck and neck. They had each other's number. It was only a matter of time to see who broke out first, and it was Ashnod able to get that big 3-run homer, and Lazy just unable to get more than 1 run in the game.
Yeah, it's been the fine margins, because you've seen them both with bases loaded situations, runners on second and third, first and second, 1 out, 2 outs, no outs, whatever it might be. They get the runner on via privilege, via a hit, whatever happens, and it's been Ashnod capitalizing and Lazy, being unable to capitalize in the moment. And it's just been coming down to that, really, I think.
And then we had that pitching duel in game 4 to start things off. But in contrast, game number 3, we had this back and forth action between these two teams. You had Lazy out in front, and then Ashnod, and then Lazy with that huge grand slam, and then Ashnod answering immediately back with a 9-run inning. And by that point, there was nothing that Lazy could really do to overcome that incredible mountain that Ashnod had put out in front of him. Props to Ashnod for being able to just lace the ball, showing why he is the long ball award winner, not just at 90 ego, but at 93 ego, able to have such a great patient eye at the plate, as well as to deliver consistent great contact after great contact, finding that lift and getting the ball deep and usually over the fence.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just been unparalleled, really. Something like you've never seen. These are the top 2 players in the world, and one right now is on the top of his game like nothing else. And it's been a privilege to watch. And going into tomorrow, I'm excited to see if this may conclude. I mean, Lazy's got it all the chances left to maybe keep it alive, but Ashnod looks ready to go.
Yep, tomorrow night, folks, we will have games. Games 5 and 6, correct?
Right,
I've lost my
6. Yep.
Yes, I was going to say 6 and 7. I was like, wait, that's not right. Games 5 and 6 will be here tomorrow night. Same time, Dwayne?
Same time, same place tomorrow night. Yep, we're going to have Game 5, Game 6 if necessary.
And it's going to be crazy because Ashnod is just, like we said, 1 win away from winning the World Series, and it'll be the number 2 seed looking to end things tomorrow night. And the number 1 seed going to have to win 3 games in a row in order to hold on to his crown. It's going to be crazy. We'll see if Lazy can pull out all the stops tomorrow night, and if Ashnod will walk away with the crown. We hope to join you. We hope you join us for that tomorrow night. Dwayne, any parting words tonight?
Nope, thank you, Floribel, for joining me. It's always been great getting in the booth. Nice to resume the World Series with you. Thanks for our players for putting on a great show again, and thanks everybody for being here. Yeah, it's just exciting here. We're right at the end of Season 9. The tournament's been great. The regular season was great. All the primetime action's been great. So the big moments are yet to be done. We're going to continue it tomorrow, and yeah, I'm happy, and it's been great. Everybody have a great night.
Have a great night, everybody. Stay safe and healthy out there, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. Bye for now.